Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I saw this one a little bit earlier, and considering that it's April 1st and how it's, April Fool's Day, I'm like, you know what, maybe this is just a joke. It's a prank, kind of like the 4-point field goal thing that we saw. But there's been a couple more articles, so maybe it's pretty legit, but it's about inner turmoil between Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. So let's get into the video. If I'm going to be 1000% transparent, I feel like there's a lot of hate for Jalen Hurts, which is really weird. Like, are there games last season where he played abysmal and the Eagles were bad? Yeah, you look at Goff, Stafford, Mayfield. Every single quarterback had bad games. Like, that's part of the season. That's the regular up and downs of the season. But like, there was a lot of drama between the receiving room, Hurts, and like with changes of offensive coordinators, I think, we have a little bit of butting heads. And something that was like brewing was, do we do play calls under center? Like, do we change our scheme a little bit by, let's change it up a little bit. Let's not go from shotgun, because that's one thing that has been predominant in his career is a lot of stuff in shotgun. And if we are going to go under center, what's it going to be? It's going to be for the Philly special. No, no, the but if we are going to go under center, it's going to be for the tush push. That's what it's been lately. I think it's kind of funny though that a lot of hatred on, like, when you look at top 10 quarterbacks in the league, nobody wants him anywhere near that list. Everybody's like, hell no, not on my watch. But I mean, what can't be denied is, even with, their disappointing finish this year to the hands of the 49ers, I think, I'm going to come out and say this, I think the Eagles overlooked the 49ers and they weren't ready for that matchup. That could be. I think there was also probably a little bit of turmoil within the organization, because we have seen that in the past. I don't think that has any discredit for him not being a top 10 quarterback. I think you go look at some of the top quarterbacks in the league right now, he's definitely in those conversations. I mean, if you go look at the stats and go watch the games, the two times he has been in the Super Bowl, even though his record is 1-1 in the Super Bowls, he has outplayed Mahomes both times. And so I think with the change of scheme could lead to a little bit of tough conversations on, okay, maybe this isn't meshing. I think with the addition of bringing Saquon Barkley on, was huge for the Eagles. Obviously, it led to them winning a Super Bowl. Um, but I think we'll just see with how it could go with a new scheme and stuff. I think I kind of live by the term, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, I think every quarterback should go. I mean, why? Obviously, we've seen how successful Mahomes has been. We've seen how successful Jackson has been. Why would we just all of a sudden change it? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like offensive coordinators coming in, yes, they should have a vision about, okay, this is kind of what I want this offense to be. But if you're coming into a system that's already been there and established, what was the bread and butter before you got there? You know what I mean? Like, we've seen it with, for example, after Bieniemy left the Chiefs. Chiefs struggled for a little bit, but now he's back. But I've noticed, like, there's kind of, whether it was Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, yes, they've had different offensive coordinators, but like the talk and the conversation around of, like, us as fans knowing who these offensive coordinators are, like, by name and by scheme, that's very new. It's always been, well, actually, it's the quarterback that's going out there and making the plays and not how they drew the play up or whatever. And like, we're noticing coaching more. And I just kind of look at it as, like, at the end of the day, it's Barkley and it's Hurts and it's Brown and it's Smith. They're out there making the plays. Let them go make the plays. Don't just try to come in here and say, okay, we need to do something totally different and put these quarterbacks out of their comfort zone, because it doesn't work. We've seen it not work. Like, how many quarterbacks have we written off and labeled them as busts because, oh, look at that. You look at, for the first 5 years of their career, first 4 years of their career, how many different head coaches have they had? How many different offensive coordinators have they had? They haven't been able to build that chemistry that, I mean, Lamar Jackson, Mahomes, Josh Allen, who are some other quarterbacks that have been pretty fortunate and lucky that the coach that was the head coach, that when they got drafted, they've been with them this whole time. Not every quarterback can say that they've had that experience and opportunity, but that's just my thoughts. I think all of it is probably just, you know, an article to talk about something because it could be a slow news day. But I saw that one. I wanted to also make a video on like the potential 4-point field goal play, but then I realized what the day was, and it's like, okay, I fell for that. But this news article, like, it got a little bit bigger. But I just want to give my thoughts and reactions to, you know, teams fight, and there's a little bit of turmoil and stuff within the building. But again, you go look at some of the other successful quarterbacks in the league right now and what they're asked to do. I would say the player has a little bit more push, you know, and then ultimately it should come down to the head coach as well. But that's just my thoughts on that, guys. Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video.